Can you tell I have cookies stuck in my teeth? I totally...
No, can you tell I have beef stew stuck in my teeth? Mm-mm. Okay, we're good. What's going on, people? Ben and Brittany here from benandbrittany.net. And today we are talking about negativity. Negativity. It's everywhere. And you can't escape it. That's all for today. We'll see you guys next time. No, but seriously, it's something that Brittany and I have tried to like pretty much eliminate from our life. And when we first met, we went through this like almost kind of like detoxing period of negativity, right?
We really did. We were so almost hippie-like.
Yeah, we were. We were just like, that's negative, I'm out.
Bye.
Going over here now. And I think that was a very good thing that we did, and we did it together.
Yeah, we totally detoxed.
Yeah.
In that sense, from negative people that were in our life, and then eventually negative careers. He quit UPS. I quit a company that I was working for because I just wasn't happy there. Like
they were sucking the life out of us. They were. I ain't gonna lie.
We can't be around, when you're a positive person, being around negative people brings you down.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it makes you a negative person. And we saw that happening and we were like, we have to stop. So we really did. We cleaned house.
We did.
We actually kind of, I think we hid our relationship for almost 3 months. Like certain people like kept seeing me come around then, like at Titan shows and stuff. They're like, this pretty girl keeps coming around.
Yeah.
But we never really announced it it was a while.
Yeah, and that's because we didn't want people to be like, are you sure? Like, are you, this is not really what you want, is it? Like we had a couple of negative responses early on in our relationship, and I think we got sick of that real quick. And we're just like, what? Can you just say good for you?
Right. I'm so glad you're happy, instead of like, don't you think it's too soon? Or for Ben, it was like, but she has kids.
Yeah.
Like
are you sure? Are you ready for this? Like, do you even know what it's like to be a dad? And I'm like,
we're not even there yet.
Like, that's why people are so scared of children. It's because their friends are like, are you sure you want to do this?
Meanwhile, I'm like telling all of his friends, you really need to date a single mom. Like, you need to do it. She's going to take so good care of you.
My best friends were the ones that, amongst others, that were also like, hey, man, like, are you sure you want to do this? And that's fully respectable. I'm not trying to say that my friends are assholes. It was just, those are my best friends. But it was just like, man, like, I don't really want to talk about it. I just kind of want to make my own decision, you know?
We were just focused on what was making us happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think your friends were coming from a point of love. There's a difference between having a conversation with a friend and like, have you thought about this, versus like, I had a couple people like literally throw the Bible at me who were just like,
you need Jesus.
Like,
repent.
This is not right. You need to go back to your first marriage. And like, they had no idea what I was going through, because you keep those things to yourself.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had gone through this like, okay, fine, like, we're not going to do anything that brings any type of negativity, and we don't care what other people think about us, which we still have that mentality. We do what brings us joy, and we share it with the world, and if the world doesn't like it, like,
that's fine.
Turn the channel.
That's not for everyone.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Who wants to sit here and watch me drink wine and talk about negativity? Not everyone.
Right.
And I'm cool with that.
But what we maybe not quickly, took us a little bit to learn.
Yeah.
Is that you can detox your life from all the negativity that you want, and you should try to, if you find yourself around a group of people and those people are always bringing you down, well, maybe you need to be around them less. Like, that definitely is a thing. But with that said, you can't fully escape it.
No, I think you should definitely do your best to surround yourself with people and things and memories and experiences that are uplifting and motivating and inspiring and happy. Like, that is definitely a best practice for life in general. However, I want to talk about this real life kind of thing that happened to me, and Brittany kind of too, but like, I definitely it happened to me. I worked really hard to rid myself of negativity, like in general. Like during this detox period, I was like, this is negative, gone. This is negative, gone. This is negative, gone. And after doing that, I felt lighter you know? Mm-hmm. I felt better. I felt motivated. I was ready to go. But negativity just kept hitting me from all angles in new ways that I didn't expect. And it would make me angry. And I would be like, I did all this detoxing of negativity, and I feel more negative now. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just always going to be that way. And I personally follow somebody by the name of Jay Shetty online, and he's kind of like this guy that spent a few years as a monk. He's trained his mindset, and he looks at life and how you should live it in a very positive way. And he was talking about negativity, and it was like the same thing that I had experienced. He's like, negativity is everywhere. You cannot escape it.
Right.
No matter what you do, you will not escape negativity. It lives everywhere. And he was like, look at it this way. And this is what really struck me as a way to put it. It made me understand. He was like, soldiers don't go into battle naked. They're going to die.
Right.
Like when you go into battle, you wear armor to protect yourself from bullets, arrows, swords, shield, whatever it is coming at you. And he's like, that's a real physical thing. But emotionally, you have to put your armor on too to protect yourself against negativity. And it's a mindset thing where you kind of just deflect it.
Right.
And I wasn't good at that. And I think I'm getting better at it. And I think...
Just like with anything, it takes time. Mindset shifts take a lot of practice.
Mm-hmm. But that was the first time I was actually like, wow, like that's a good way to put it. Like you literally have to almost numb yourself to negativity a little bit and just be like, that's negative. Not going to get me today. You know?
Yeah.
Like like the video we did on the domino effect of assholage.
Yeah.
Like Steve, the guy in the video that I was just the random name that I was using. I was like, if Steve pulls up on your bumper and you're going the speed limit, it pisses you off, right? And now I'm just like, look at this guy. He must be in a hurry. You know,
right.
It's just that whole mindset thing. Otherwise, I'd be like, get off my ass. Slam on the brakes, brake check the guy. And it's a totally different thing.
And then
like,
your
you can
whole
choose to
afternoon's
respond.
ruined.
Yeah, and then you're all pissed off. You're thinking about it for a while. But now I try my best to be like, wow, Steve, there must be a good reason that you're on my ass right now. Let me get over for you. Have a great day. See ya. Watch out for cops.
I wouldn't take it that far.
Maybe not that far. I'm just trying to make a point here.
But I definitely, I agree. And a good friend of mine, she was sitting with Ben and I, and she like made a really good point. You know, you can't control what other people do or say. You can't control how they may react to things that you do or say, but you can control how you let it affect you. And you can control how you react to those things. So you just have to learn to be comfortable amongst negativity, because you know that negativity isn't going to affect you or your heart or your day. And that was just really mind-blowing for me, because I'm like, you know what, you're right. Because I was kind of in the same seat as Ben, where like I was doing all this detoxing and like just trying to make my life super positive. And then there was plenty of days where I would feel like I took 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back. And I was like, why is this happening? Like, I'm reading all these books and they're saying, surround yourself with all this positivity. And I'm doing that. I'm doing all these things. And I'm trying to find the silver lining in every situation, which I'm pretty good at. But sometimes you have harder times than others finding that lining. It's like super microscopic thing.
Absolutely. But it's important to find.
But the problem was I was letting those bad things make me feel like I was going 3 steps back. Mm-hmm. And really how I should have been looking at it was, okay, this thing happened. What am I supposed to be learning from it?
Yeah. How can this benefit me in the future? Is there a lesson here?
Yeah. How can I make this a turning point? Or how can I just be like, okay, that kind of sucks, but I'll deal with it and it'll be fine, and not dwell on it for weeks. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah,
because what have you ever worried really, really hard?
And then it changed the outcome.
And then something like get better because you worried?
Right, never. And it's definitely, again, easier said than done, but it's definitely something that I'm trying to work on. Because, absolutely. For example, we got... I'll just be totally honest. We got a hospital bill for one of our daughters in the mail the other day from 2018. 2018. And I was like, where did this come from? And it was over $1,000. You can imagine like the panic, the sheer panic. I'm like, it is my slow season.
Yeah, it was not in the budget.
I have no paychecks. Like, is this going to affect my credit? Like all these, I'm anxious. I have anxiety. So naturally, I thought of every worst case scenario that could happen with this $1,000 bill. And I let it affect me for days. I mean, I was down for days. And then finally, I talked to the right people and I realized that, this isn't that big of a deal and I can take care of it and I can make payments and it's not going to affect my credit. And I was like, wow, maybe when that bill first came in, I should have been like, let me talk to these people, figure it out. Because the worrying that I did and the stress that I did not change the fact that I still had to pay this bill eventually.
I remember telling you about the bill. I called you and I was like, there's a mail here for you and it says we owe them $1,000 and it's from blah, blah, blah. And you were like, oh my God, I could cry right now. Like that was your first response was like tears. Let's go. Bring it. This sucks. Cry.
Yeah. To be fair, I had already had like a couple like negative things kind of happening. I've had a couple
straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, like I've had a couple transactions fall apart for good reasons. It happens, and I don't want people to buy bad homes. So when inspections show that the house is really bad and seller doesn't want to fix it, it is what it is. Move on. We're going to find them another home that they're going to be super happy with, and I'm going to be able to serve them. But a lot of times when it first happens, I'm just like, crap. Like, I feel like I failed them almost.
Yeah, but you didn't. The house was bad. The house had a broken support beam. Like, that's not, you didn't break the beam.
Right. I didn't break the house. But it's just things that, I've been letting these bad things like internalize and be very negative when really I just need to look at it for face value and move on.
Absolutely.
And I think that's just how we need to look at life. If you go to work and there's just somebody else having a bad day, you don't need to let their bad day make you have a bad day. Or if you have to set boundaries, Ben and I have talked about having to give people boundaries in your life. Sometimes you can't control how they react and you just have to be okay with it. You don't need to let it ruin your whole day because...
What do you mean by boundaries though?
Well, we talked about like with addictions in the one podcast.
Yeah.
And we just talked about sometimes with those people, you kind of have to set boundaries because otherwise you're enabling. Yeah. And sometimes when you set those boundaries, it can be really hard and that person can take it really bad, really poorly. Yeah. And you can't let that ruin your day.
No, you just got to be like, this is my decision.
Like you made a decision, you got to be comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you open the mail and you have $1,000 bill, you'll figure it out.
Deal with it one step at a time.
Don't let it ruin who you are.
The freak out doesn't help. The panic doesn't help. The worry doesn't help. The succumbing to negativity and wanting to cry doesn't help. Even though that's a natural human feeling, don't feel bad for having those feelings, but just know that it's not going to help you. And if you have to go through that process first to do something about it, that's okay. You'll get better at that over time. And I think it takes practice to rid yourself of negativity and to battle through it and to have your emotional armor start to work. You don't just go to Kohl's, buy emotional armor, plop it on, and then all of a sudden negativity's gone. It's a practice. It's something that you're going to have to master. And that's one thing that Brittany and I are trying to do right now. We're trying to just be happy, positive people. And if negative people want to come hang out with us, that's cool. They ain't getting to us. They ain't affecting us.
Right.
Right?
I think, too, a good practice for that is you have to start your day off positive.
Yeah.
So like, I had a talk with Kaylin, because she'll sometimes start to get like upset about things and she'll be like, no one likes me, or... I have to wear this.
Get any attention.
I have to wear the same shirt every week, and I just kind of talked her today and I said, if you start your day off this way with this bad attitude, it's going to affect your whole day, and then you're not going to have fun today. You're not going to enjoy school. You're not going to enjoy art class. Like, you're not going to enjoy the things that you're doing because you're starting your day off on a bad foot.
And you dwell on it. She dwells on negativity sometimes, just like every other human being does. We just get to see it in a 6-year-old every now and then.
Right. So I said to her, well, what are you grateful for? Let's talk about some of those things. And she's like, well, I'm grateful for you and Ben and Kinsley. And I said, okay, that's good. I said, I'm also grateful for you, Kinsley, and Ben. I said, okay, so now what's something else that you're really happy about? And she said she likes her stuffed puppy that she gets to sleep with every day. And she picked a couple other things, and we kind of did this back and forth. And I said, maybe this is what we need to do every day for a little bit, just to remind you that you have a really great life. Yeah. And the fact that you have to rotate clothes like every other human being on Earth. I mean, actually, some people don't even have clothes to rotate, right? Like, if we're talking about the world, but like every other kid probably in her school, like, mommy wears the same thing every week too. Sometimes I wear the same thing multiple times a week because I do laundry. Like, I said, you don't need to focus on that. You need to focus on what you're grateful for. And I think all humans can do that. Like, we could all, there's some people who do gratitude journals. So either before they go to bed or when they wake up in the morning, they just quickly write down like 10 things that they're grateful for. Right. And that just changes your mindset for the whole day. Instead of,
man, my life's not that bad.
Right.
It doesn't suck.
And then maybe when they go to put on their jeans and they're fitting a little tight, that's not all they're focusing on that day, And at work, we do a positive focus, and it's kind of the same thing. Like, you're just hearing everybody's good story for the day, and then you're working, and the last thing that you heard was super positive.
Yeah, start here, not here.
Right.
For those of you who are listening, my hand was up high, and then it was down low.
And then it was
I forget we're actually like only audio too.
Oh, that's true. I forget that all the time.
Yeah, we do this. If you're listening, we do a video podcast as well, and that's the camera's right in front of us, and the mics are on our chest, so we see the camera and we talk to the camera. We forget that.
I totally
sometimes
forget
people
that
just listening.
I'm always making facial expressions and hand gestures. People are missing out.
Yeah. YouTube, baby. Follow us on YouTube.
So I guess for me, I would challenge everybody to start a gratitude journal. Because I think there's something to be said about writing it. Writing it and then reading it to yourself.
Absolutely.
Is so much better than just saying it out loud. Maybe do all three. Really ingrain it in you.
Really go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get yourself that negativity detox. Start at the right spot. Keep it going. Practice it. That's where we are. We're happy. Right? We really are, though.
We really are.
No, I just made that super awkward.
I just wasn't prepared. I was mid-thought. And then you said that. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. Still thinking.
Yeah. Still thinking about that bill. A little bit. But it's all good, guys. Thank you for watching this podcast. We appreciate all your continued support. Do your best to, rid yourself of negativity. Let us know how it's going. Drop a comment below if you want to weigh in on this topic. Like, comment, share, all those things you got to do in 2020 to make a podcast work.
I want to know what everybody's thankful for, too. So if you comment, you can weigh in on the topic by any means. But you have to at least say one thing that you're grateful for.
Okay.
Keep it positive.
There we go. Keep it positive, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you in the next podcast. Later.